Good morning. Welcome to Mindful Meditations, Season 4, Episode 1, Mindful Meditations. My name is Allison Barnett, and I'm coming to you live this morning from Colorado. And I am at the studio of Jeff and Susan Wise. And Jeff and Susan have been with the gallery now for 20 plus years, since the inception of the gallery. Thank you to everyone who's joining to tune in. This is my first mindful meditation where I've actually left the state of New Mexico. One of my first meditations from my living room during isolation was about Jeff and Susan. And now I have had the opportunity, now that we are out of isolation, to travel north to Colorado. And I'm here in the mountains, and we'll be interviewing Jeff and Susan in their studio, and it's a great opportunity. Behind me is a piece that Jeff has made that will be going to a park in Littleton, Colorado. You can see the beautiful mountains behind me. Jeff and Susan, and we're going to talk about it when I come into the studio, but they collaborate on their jewelry. But Jeff is a sculptor, and a fantastic sculptor. He makes very large public works, and actually I'm just going to even let me move this camera for a second so you can see this piece that's moving. This is his makeshift outdoor studio, but you can see a piece that he's got working there. I'm going to turn it back to behind me. Sorry about that. So this piece will be going to Littleton, Colorado, and then they come together on the jewelry. So really, without further ado, I'm going to leave the outside. I don't want to trip on anything, and we're going to walk into the studio. It's a beautiful morning in Colorado, and the two of them are ready for us, and we're going to join them at their benches. And thanks for your patience while we go into the studio. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay. Hi, guys.
Good morning, Allison.
Hi, let's turn this camera. Hi, this is Jeff.
Very good.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Allison.
Hi,
hello,
welcome to the program. Hi,
Internet
Susan.
world.
Hi, Allison. So happy to have you here.
Well, I'm very happy to be here in your studio. I love it, and I love that, gosh, this is a great studio where you are in the trenches. You are making your sensational pieces. And I want to talk a little bit just before we start that we have been working together for the last 30 years. I have known y'all for 30 years, and as you probably know, I studied metalsmithing at Syracuse University, and when I first saw your work, I was so taken with the purpose and intention and every aspect of your work and how you make the pieces with so much love and joy. I would say joy is the biggest word that comes to mind, because your pieces have moving parts, they're playful, you don't take yourselves too seriously, and you love to use gemstones. So I'm not going to talk really so much anymore. I am going to turn this over to Jeff, and I'm going to let Jeff tell us a little story about his beginnings with Susan, and then we're going to go from there. This video might go a little longer so people can come in and out of the video, because not only are we going to talk about the work, but we're also they're going to show us how they make some of their pieces. So Jeff, please take the floor.
All right, very good. That was an excellent synopsis,
Thank you,
Allison. We definitely have fun, don't we, Susan?
We do.
Yes, we do.
A good time in the process.
That's
yes, indeed.
awesome.
And so really, both of us just really have a compulsion to make things. I mean, it's just always been that way. That just really enjoy making objects. And yes, as Allison said, Susan and I have been working with Patina from the very beginning, 30 years. Isn't that something? And I wanted to show, this is kind of cool.
Show us.
I grew up in Denver, and this is our family car, the 1948 Chrysler Town & Country Woody.
I love it.
You will notice the little sheepies back here.
Let's see if we can
And
see
this picture is from 1968, and we were driving through the San Luis Valley from Denver to go to Santa Fe for a vacation. We had to stop for a herd of sheep to cross the road.
Oh my gosh.
So I just
different
think
times. I
that's
love
kind of
it.
neat. And I used to buy turquoise from the Native Americans on the plaza there.
Ooh.
And I used that turquoise to make jewelry that I sold in high school.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you, Jeff, you're primarily self-taught?
I am totally self-taught. And so I've learned lots of wrong ways how to do things
Yes.
as well, too. That's
Yes.
kind of how that works. And that's the same with the sculpture too. I taught myself how to weld.
Yes.
And then I provided some instruction for Susan, but Susan is now a totally fabulous goldsmith in her own right.
She is painter and goldsmith.
Yes.
Painter, yes.
So I guess we're kind of sharing a microphone. So we're
are.
not ignoring Susan, but
No.
we're going to have to kind of pass back
That's
and
right.
forth.
And I wonder if before we maybe look at how you're going to make something, I'm just going to turn the camera real quick to this bench, and we're just going to take a quick look at some of the finished pieces. You know, Susan and I were talking last night about the beginning of a piece, the end of a piece, and the dash that lives between the birth and the end of the making of a piece. And in that dash is where all the joy of making comes. And I love that. It's so deliberate, and their pieces are made with such passion and intention. And you can see the fun, the spirit. Not only are they inspired by urban landscape, but they're also inspired by the place in which they live and the travels. And in that dash, not only does Jeff make sculpture and Susan paints and they make this jewelry, but they have traveled extensively throughout the great Southwest and all over our great nation and world. And all of those experiences have led to this fantastic, I want to call it a gumbo of jewelry and life.
Yes. Can I say that Susan and I
Yes.
are both awesome adventure rangers?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
And we embrace the life experience in any way that we can possibly manifest it.
I love it. So, Jeff, tell us what you're working on.
Well, actually, I have a repair job. Well, not a repair job, a sizing job from Patina Gallery.
Oh, my gosh.
Because the fabulous crew at Patina sold this ring, and we're going to size it right here
How do you
on
like
stage.
that?
Yes.
All right. So for the
this is the
curious
one.
minds who want to know about how,
Yeah.
show us what it is. It's a
This-
rose-cut diamond ring.
Yeah, and I wanted to mention too that these rose-cut diamonds are another one of those stones that art jewelers kind of brought the world's attention to. That these weren't really widely known, and then art jewelers kind of adopted them, as they have many other stones like boulder opals and some different types of stones that weren't kind of widely known, but art jewelers have kind of popularized them, and subsequently
color.
they've gotten more expensive too. You know?
It's
So-
like, it looks like a root beer.
Yeah, isn't that
it's like
neat?
a root
I
beer
love
kind of color.
love the color.
Okay,
of
so
that.
what you're going to size it down.
First, I got to figure out what size.
It needs
Well,
to
let's
be a
see.
6.
Allison, can you hand me that
Yes.
mandrel over
So
there?
here are the tools of the trade. This
That-
mandrel
yes, that
right
one.
here.
That one. That big
here's a
heavy
mandrel.
hunk of steel.
All right.
And we're going to see how big this thing is currently.
So you've got a really nice shank on this ring.
7
sort
and
of
a quarter.
anti-clastic.
Yes. So anti-clastic, what Allison referred to there,
Is the
when
shape
you
of the
have
shank.
when you have a curve. Here, the curve is an outside curve, and then here it's a curve in the different direction. So it's essentially what it is. It's the inside of a donut versus the outside of a donut.
Okay.
That's the best way to look at it. So you can see how this could be the inside of a donut.
Got it. And it has
Yeah.
a beautiful peen surface.
Yes.
So the client who's acquired this, it's a little big. We're going to size it down to a size 6.
Okay, so now we're
And,
gonna start sawing.
Okay. So yesterday when I got here, we went on a beautiful hike behind the studio and into the mountains. And it was a really special time to see. Oh gosh, you're cutting right through it. Wow, isn't that exciting? Thanks to everyone who's joined our program and who's watching. Jeff is cutting through a ring shank to size a ring down and take out some of the gold so that this ring will fit our client.
So I'm guesstimating a ring size. Oop.
Broke the thing, which happens a lot.
That happens a whole lot.
A whole lot, yes.
Oh, Susan, this would be a good time to talk about jeweler's position B, right?
Position B,
Jeweler's
okay.
position B means on your hands and knees on the floor looking for something that you drop.
Okay.
Yes, so that's a fairly common experience.
So yesterday I was saying that we took a hike behind your studio into the mountains. It was so glorious, and I was constantly being reminded that upon doing so, that you're very, yes, urban landscape influences what you do, but your work is a lot about the landscape of this area up in the mountains and the rocks. And when I'm just going to turn the camera while you're doing that real quick. You know, when we look at pieces that are made like this, you know, up in the mountains there were wedges and there were rocks that had fallen high and things that were propped up, rocks that had fallen on top of one another. There's so much influence in this work with, you know, sort of the cantilevered rocks and the movement and the play, and there was, you know, things growing on the trees and moss, and it was dripping, and I don't know, so much of what you do reminds me of your work, so of the landscape. So well, Jeff is now cutting out a section of this ring to size it down. This is all part of being part of, you know, the process of servicing and getting clients what they need after they have made a nice.
And, you know, talking about the rocks, I mean, it gets into mineralogy, and I took, early on in my career, I took a course in gemology and mineralogy, so I'm really fascinated by the structure of rocks and minerals.
And your work is as much about metal and the smithing of the metal as it is about the use of gemstones. And usually you love agates, Jeff.
I love agates. Agates are really wonderful. Just the incredible different patterns and colors. Yeah, agates are really cool.
And they each tell a story.
Yes, they certainly do.
They're like plucked from a... It's like plucked from a rock.
You know, gold is amazing stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, just thinking about how it's been coveted by humans for its beauty and rarity and the workability of it. That gold is so flexible and malleable.
Yes.
Okay, so here we are. Hey, look at that there, folks.
Oh, so you have some experience, Jeff, doing this, don't you?
Okay, so that actually, the ring isn't perfectly round at this stage, so I'm actually going to cut another little sliver out of here.
All right.
Just to get it.
At some point, Allison, I'd like to show you what I've got over here.
Well, so
hey, let's just switch one.
Why don't we make our way over to Susan? We're gonna
pass that microphone.
Let's pass the mic over to Susan, and we're gonna venture over here. Here you go, Susan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just put that right there.
Okay. What are you working on?
Hi, Allison.
Hi.
I wanted to show you. We just finished this bracelet, which we're sending to Patina. There's a lot of reticulated metals that I was going to show you. Right.
And what is reticulation?
Reticulation is a process where we've prepared the metal. It's a pure silver on the outside, fused with regular silver that has a lower melting temperature. And it melts. It just like shrinks up. Here's actually...
here's a piece of raw reticulation.
Here's a piece of raw reticulation.
I mean, it looks like landscape. It looks like an aerial view of your,
of where we live,
around where you live.
The mountains here, and then here it is in the finished state. I just wanted to show you that.
So you've oxidized it, and you've set. Here's a diamond set in gold around some reticulation, and then this is a pearl, a ringed pearl, set on top of a reticulated area.
And this is a faceted rose-cut sapphire.
Oh my gosh.
That's beautiful. And it's all very gray.
Well, I love your clay.
Colors.
You've got the dinosaur bone on the edge, which sort of, that dappled effect in the dino bone really picks up on the effect of the reticulation. You have such a great eye for pulling stones and elements together.
Thank you. This is what I love to do. And I think it's my painterly background. I just love to do monochromatic pulling of nature together. It's just so
as far
soft
as your collaboration, are you doing, what's your focus with this collaboration between the two of you?
Well, I am a metalsmith. I do the whole process, but I just have the skill set and the talent of a painter, and I bring in the colors and the textures.
So I see some beautiful color. There's a color suite. It's sort of monochromatic, and you've built these gold forms to house those gemstones. Have you cut those gemstones here in the studio?
Yes, we've cut a lot of these stones. This is labradorite. We've cut, let me hold this up for you. This is a piece of labradorite that has a a flash of blue in it. It's really
my gosh.
gorgeous.
So
And
we don't cut the faceted stones. That's kind of a whole different thing. But we
Yes.
do a lot of this kind of cutting, and then this earring here has
Oh my gosh.
inlaid labradorite.
Look at the flash
so
of light.
I wanted to show you these earrings because they are motivated to make a suite of this gorgeous necklace. It's just the soft coloration.
The
This is
hues
a
in this labradorite,
tourmaline.
because often labradorite is very bluish purple, gray, and these are really golden green.
Golden green, and a beautiful tourmaline that we've made a hole in the labradorite.
And is that what you're going to be doing here in the center where you've roughed out that circle?
Yes, I'll show you. That's a little, let's see, where is it? I can't find it. But I was going to show you, I was just finishing up this necklace, and we're going to send it to Allison, to Patina.
Oh, fantastic.
Next week.
Oh my gosh.
And the earrings to go with it. And I was just finishing it up. So I'm just filing.
And so this piece is made in 18 karat yellow gold.
18 karat yellow, and there's a lot of 22
There
karat.
is 22
And the bezels are made
in the
with
bezels.
22
Okay.
karat.
And the choice to use 22 on the bezel is because?
It's got the beautiful color. It's just, and I like the coloration, the different coloration of the yellow and the high yellow together. And it also is very good for setting stones. It's
a little softer, so when you're moving it around the stone. But even though it's softer, it does hold the stone in place.
Yes.
Oh yeah, once you work it and you harden it with the tool.
Yeah.
Yes, please send your heart emojis and let the wises know.
Heart emojis.
Yes, we've gotten some, and let the wises know how much you love and appreciate the process and what they're doing.
I'll show you this. This is the catch. It's a magnet catch, and this is definitely revolutionized a lot of.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for the
jewelry.
heart emojis. Thank you. Thank you.
And we'll be attaching that to the necklace.
So I'm loving. So if can you go ahead and just place those stones in the settings, just
Sure.
so we can see or have a.
You could come back to me if you want to.
No, I want to watch you
Oh, you
place
want to
those.
place
in there.
those?
Yeah.
I'm going to put this down like
put it
this.
down. This flash in this labradorite is really gorgeous, and it's a beautiful spring necklace.
This
So
this is a beautiful rose cut diamond that's going to go right in the middle of that labradorite.
Oh wow!
I don't know if you can
Oh,
see
yeah.
that, Allison.
Oh, lots of heart emojis coming. Thank you, thank you.
Oh, and this is just the most gorgeous shape. I love the shape.
And you all cut this one as well.
Yes.
So behind you, I'm just going to come over here. You can see these grinding machines behind Susan's left shoulder, and that's where the magic happens with the carving of these gemstones. Yeah.
This is a gorgeous, gorgeous moonstone that really motivated this piece. It goes right in there.
Okay, so that was really the inception of this piece, is that
Yes.
particular moonstone.
And here's a chrysoberyl that goes right in there.
Oh.
So it is just got a beautiful eye in it. I don't know if you can
So
see
one
that.
of the things that I often say about your work is that the joy of your pieces is that you hide the mechanisms and the clasps behind the elements. And there's this overlap that happens, even if you show us that bracelet, since everything is set on the bracelet. Pull the bracelet out just for a second and turn it upside down. You know, for me as a gallerist and working with artists, I'm always looking for the beauty of the back as well as the front. And the back is to me as lovely as the front. If you turn it over just once again, just your use of, it is primarily silver, but you have gold elements that are decorative. Even those holes that you've drilled, which allow the heat to escape when you're making a hollow form, you've made them interesting with gradated drilled circles. But this really subtle overlap, so that once you turn it over, and you can turn it over again, you're not distracted by the connections. It's all about the metal and the gem and how they encircle the wrist. And then your clasps.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, I was just going to interrupt that description by Allison.
Yes, yes.
Because I just wanted to mention that Allison's unique background in being a metalsmith has given her a lot of perspective into the intricacies of our work. the description that she just had, the appreciation she has.
Yes.
Not everybody sees it, and she sees it. And Ivan and Allison have made a wonderful contribution to the art world, the art jewelry world, and we very much appreciate their.
Well, it's such an honor for me, having been a student, and when I was so young, 23 out of art school, seeing your work for the first time in Santa Fe, and then now, you're in our gallery, which is just unbelievable. Hi, Karen. Thanks for joining the program.
Here, I'm going to show you.
Okay, show us how you do the clasp. And so this is part of Jeff's ingenuity, is this engineering of the clasp. Is that right?
Yes, he's an engineer, an architect, I believe, and a mechanical abilities.
Yes.
A beautiful skill set he's got.
This mention that this is white gold here, which is much harder than yellow gold.
It has more spring to it, right?
It has more spring to it, so that's why this is white gold, because it acts like a spring.
And so Susan is squeezing that element together, and then you're pushing it into that space,
and it clicks into a beautiful sound. Click. And then this is the safety.
Locking mechanism on the back.
Yeah. And this is another rose-cut diamond that we've put on top of this. This is coral, actually.
Oh, it's coral.
Petrified coral.
Oh my gosh, it does. It does, Jeff.
It does. Fossilized coral.
Fossilized coral.
Gosh.
And this is a black star sapphire.
Yeah.
So this is a gorgeous material called brookite quartz from Brazil. It's just so exciting.
And then is that a Botswana agate or a bull's?
This is a Botswana. Very
Botswana.
And we really enjoy working with the different gem dealers. I mean, these are some real characters. And so, yes, we cut lots of our own stones,
right.
But we also buy stones too, and frequently too, we'll buy stones and then alter the shape of them. So
okay, you make them your own.
Yeah, so it's kind of a combination deal.
Okay. Wonderful. And let's return to Jeff for a second and see what you've got. Here, I'm going to take that microphone for a moment. And, so what's going on over here, Jeff?
Okay, so we are ready to solder this.
Okay.
So what I've got going here, I cut out that section and then I bent the two edges of the ring so they're pushing against each other.
Okay.
So
yeah,
now,
they need to be kissing, huh?
Yeah, they're kissing with dynamic tension.
Okay.
Yes. So now we're taking a piece of solder, and I have to be very careful because this is like the last two pieces of solder I have. We've almost run out. But can you see here, I'm going to spread the two halves of the ring and then put the solder in there.
Okay.
And then let the tension on the ring squeeze.
It's so smart. It makes, of course, total sense.
So now I am going to do what I call cowboy soldering.
Cowboy soldering. You're getting is this acetylene or propane? What do you use?
This is oxypropane. So it's a combination of propane and oxygen.
Okay.
And so basically the idea here is to heat up the solder.
So this is the fire part. We've got earth, wind, and fire.
Right.
The stones are from the earth. The gold is from the earth. All the metal. And, so we've got that. Here comes the fire. All right.
So this is flux right here. So what flux is it forms a chemical barrier to keep the oxygen away from the solder joint. And
I don't want to catch my phone on fire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. I know you're not used to my being here. Okay.
Let's see. Actually, you know what? I don't need to get overly theatrical here. Okay. Considering the fact that we're on camera,
okay.
I should do this the safer route.
Okay, and he's got the flame is going out there.
We're gonna pull out our little jar of kind of spitball stuff here.
Okay.
So basically, this is just sort of...
So that flame went out. I can come in close again.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
So this is just sort of pulpy stuff to... This not only makes the ring kind of stand up in the position I want, But in the case of a diamond, it doesn't really matter. You can heat a diamond up red hot, and it won't hurt it.
Right.
But other stones, like quartz in particular, really doesn't like heat.
So this sort of diffuses it. Okay. All right. So here comes the flame again.
I'm going to turn the lights out so I can see what's going on.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, here we go.
Boy, this is a fun process to see everything happening. Okay.
Can you see okay, or do you want to come around?
Maybe I'm going to come around.
Come around.
I hope this is interesting to everyone who's viewing. Please let me know.
All right, so here we go.
All right, so what you're doing is you're melting the solder, which ends up being like the glue. It's going to seal up that joint. And he's clenching it in water.
Okay, so that's
that.
That's how quick that has to go.
Yeah.
Because the stone is in there. On repairs or alterations, it's always kind of tricky stuff.
Thank you for sending all of your heart emojis. Hi, Holly. Thanks for joining the program. Cool. Oh, I just love. Oh, thanks for joining. Thank you.
Here we have acid pot.
Okay. Oh, a pot of acid. Very cool. Okay.
A pot of hot acid.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's around the corner there. Okay, that's called the pickle.
The pickle.
The pickle.
I don't know where that came up with.
Yeah.
So
and what's the pickling doing?
What the pickle is doing is removing the flux that was kind of baked on. The flux almost turns into like a glaze kind of. And this acid, this hot acid, removes the flux, and then it removes the heat stains from the metal.
Okay, like fire scale?
Right.
Yeah.
And so normally, if we didn't have a stone in there, I'd just drop this thing into the pickle. But
the whole thing. Okay.
I don't like to put stones into the...
And it's hot, yeah.
Yeah, even though the diamonds are essentially... impervious to anything, hot, cold, acids, anything.
So Jeff, you grew up in New York. You grew up near Buffalo, is that right?
Well, I was born in Buffalo.
Well, you were born there.
But I grew up in Denver.
In Denver, okay.
Yeah.
So not terribly far from where we are. And Susan, you grew up near D.C.
Right.
You both have an interest in postmodern design.
Minimalist, believe it or not.
Minimalist, believe it or not.
Maybe it's not true, but we have the appreciation of that.
Susan definitely is into editing the superfluous. I mean, if you look at the work that I did before we started working together, my work is definitely very ornamented, and Susan's influence is definitely
has edited it down,
getting it down to the bone structure.
That's that collaboration that we go back and forth on.
So there are the pieces that are before Susan, the BS.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, let's not
Allison.
No, wait.
Why not?
And then and then the post Susan, the PS. Oh, I love that.
I'm here.
I love that.
Well, it's fun collaborating.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, we sit here, we listen to books on tape.
So this is really part of that. I'm going to back up. I mean, part of this meditative process is the two of you, having this opportunity to sit together. You like each other, obviously. You've been married for nearly 40 years.
40 years.
And sitting side by side, collaborating, on these master works where you really bring, all the joy of stones and metal together. And there's really a language, I would say a language of love, because you're celebrating your 40th.
Good,
thank you, 40th anniversary.
Thank you, Allison.
Anytime. But to me, it is a language of love, and not only is part of the process of you dreaming up these incredible designs. As I come over here and look at the pieces on this wooden table here, dreaming up these designs and creating them, and then where they find their homes, and they live with our clients forever.
Well, I'd like to mention too.
Tell me.
I mean, how really rare patina is. Oh, look, a microphone.
Yes.
there's not that many really good art jewelry galleries in the country, and we've lost a few of them over the years.
Yes.
And so, as jewelry artists, we are very thankful to have this venue that Patina provides.
Oh, thanks.
And in this very historic art city, I mean, Santa Fe really is remarkable.
Yes, it is.
And so to have
we are a mecca for
this
the arts
venue to sell our work is really special. And then the way you and Ivan have really developed the Wi-Fi internet thing is going into the modern era.
It is 21st century. Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, we have a great team of people working at the gallery, and they all help bring your work into the virtual world. And
yes.
But for me, that there's this purity of where it starts, in person, these tangible assets. So many people today, or a lot of people today, are talking about this currency, that lives online in the virtual world, and I don't totally understand it. And to me, I love that your work is a tangible asset. I've never really actually said that before, but it is, and you can hold it in your hand. And you can take great. I mean, I'm looking at this ring you have
how
on.
about this?
Great pleasure.
So this
in
is
how you've made something.
So
and look at this.
This is really kind of my thing. Is this lapidary? Lapidary is the word for stone cutting, and but the carving stone. This is a mosaic of opal, and then these are pieces of black jade that I cut to the shape, and then this is cool. This little kind of nicho, or a niche of coral in here, and the way I wrap that with the rope. I mean, this is a really cool ring.
You made this piece a number of years ago.
Yeah, I've had this ring for probably 30 years.
And it looks fabulous. It's got a beautiful patina. I love the warmth of the black jade.
Yeah.
It has a density to it. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, this is a cool one here.
Does anyone who's watching have any questions that we can pose to the Wises? It's a great opportunity to be with them here in their studio. So if anyone has a question, it's a great chance to pose it here. But wait, and before anyone might do that, you were going to show us the ring on your other finger.
So this is Montana agate, which is really cool.
Oh, here it is. Okay.
That's a wedding ring, by the way.
Oh, wow.
I thought we were making a new wedding ring. All right,
That's your current.
Well, that's the beauty of what y'all do.
This is
You
the
can make
current
as many
ring.
wedding rings as you want.
Yes, indeed. And I love the pattern of the Montana agate, and then it has this little brown diamond in the middle of it.
And then you've carved the sides.
Yeah, has kind of a pattern on the side.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
Well, I just, the tactile quality of it, the way things feel is really important.
Yes.
You're
wearing it on the space of your body. I mean, this is architecture for the body, and adornment for the body.
Yep.
The way I see it, and it has to feel good. The weight has to be right. It has to be reflective of you as a person. I mean, if you choose art for your wall that you live with in your space, you can. That's okay. You can keep it. Okay. You live with it in your space on your walls, but when you put it on your body, it's an extension of who you are, and it has to resonate with each individual. And to me, that's one of the questions I would pose to you. I mean, you're making art for the sake of your pure enjoyment, what you love to do, what resonates with you. And fortunately, over your career of what is it, 50 years you've been combined?
I've been making jewelry since I was 13, when I made peace symbol rings in junior high school for $3.
I love it. So Jocelyn wants to know, what is your favorite gemstone combination to work with?
Oh man, combination? Well, currently we are very excited about, we went down to the Tucson Gem Show.
Yes.
And found some really nice salamaline. I love to say that word, but
here I'm gonna come over here and show our viewers what's salalamine here. Okay,
yeah.
So this let me pull the pair of earrings. Oh wow!
So that wonderful wood grain pattern, but it's in the context of this jet black, high polish with the kind of silvery gray stripes running through it. And then with the ruby, it just, I really love that combination. To me, it's very kind of Art Deco.
Yes.
That red and black has kind of a very Art Deco vibe to it.
So
Yeah.
one of the, and I have a ring on. You've made a ring that's similar with the solalamine.
Right.
One of the things that I love about your work is the movement. So I've
Here,
got
let's
this-
flip it around.
Yeah, look what's happening here. So it's a mobile. Tell me about your joy of movement in your pieces.
Well, we do a number of pieces that are kinetic in nature. And that's something that's carried over into my sculpture as well as is that kinetic aspect of it. But I love the movement. To me, it's fat, and it's just a very human thing to kind of fiddle around with it. You know.
Yes.
When you're sitting in the airport waiting for that flight.
Yeah.
You can sit here and pet your ring. You know?
Oh my gosh, I love that. And you've got so over here talking about movement.
Well, actually, this
Oh,
piece,
let's look at this piece. This is coming to Patina.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And
let me zoom out for a second. Okay.
I love the construction of this piece, the way it's articulated like that. So
And then in the front, these are gorgeous Australian opal.
yeah, and
Each one bezel set.
look at the wonderful feeling of that. It just has such a wonderful touch to it.
Yeah, and the drape of it. And what's the stone set on the top?
This is a blue zircon.
Zircon.
Most likely from India. And then here again we have that anti-clastic curve. So actually here's a good place to see that. See how this curve this way
Yes.
is an outside curve,
Yeah.
and the curve this way is an inside curve.
Uh-huh.
So it's a trip to wrap your mind around it. But again, it's like a curve going in two different directions at the same time.
And then the surface. I'm going to zoom in because I love your surfaces. There's a warmth to it. Do you use the rocks around the studio outside to hammer the gold on it?
We do indeed.
You do indeed.
Yes. So that I actually pound that gold onto the surface of a rock to get that kind of textural imprint of it.
And then then you have the tubing. So you've made the tubing around the neck. Different lengths of tubing, and then the clasps. Tell me about this clasp. Is it one of your?
This is just a manufactured clasp here,
But easy.
But this fits in here like this, and then you've got that safety.
And that's unusual because often, let's pull out this
here's
book, the book
one of our
necklace.
This is
clasps.
we call it a book necklace. For what reason? Because it felt like we were reading a story.
Yeah, they feel like different chapters, kind of.
Chapters.
I love the combination with the silver oxidized and the gold, and the black, and I mean the stones really are reflective of the gray and gold.
Yeah.
And then, but this clasp, this is one of your.
So this is one of our inventions. This keyhole clasp, isn't that? So it's real simple.
So it rotates, and then the key fits into the.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
we love that.
And then these are black diamonds down at the bottom. I love the coloration of this piece.
It's great. And then tell me about these chrysoprase earrings. I love the movement. It reminds me of like a fish. Or tell me, what is it for you? And not only does it move back and forth, Jeff, but there's an articulation in the So tell us about that.
Susan made each one of these little discs is soldered to a little individual tube. So there's actually there's like eight different pieces right here that move. There's a chain that runs up the middle that allows it to have that movement to it.
And I love the shape of that stone at the top.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, it has a flat top, rounded,
yep.
and the bullet. And then you've
Allison,
got the Chalcedony.
This was kind of made as a set here, different colors right now.
Yeah,
but
Chalcedony.
Same kind of construction. And this is a
Thank you, Karen.
tanzanite.
No, that's a sapphire.
That's a sapphire at the bottom.
Yeah.
And this is a blue chalcedony.
Now these particular stones, we bought these from a stonecutter, Mark Houghton, that lives in Santa Fe.
Oh, that's right.
He was in Taos, but now he's in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
And one interesting aspect of this, gemstones are kind of a lot of times hard to find. And Mark has connections for the rough. The chalcedony actually comes from Namibia. He has connections that I do not have.
Amazing.
So I'm not able to certain stones I can't get the rough for. So
yes. And then opal, and then you do these rings that you call whirlpool rings, where the stone you can't even see that. Is it a tanzanite?
That is a sapphire, I believe.
Set down into the turquoise, and then you carve the turquoise so it's set slightly off center into the depth of that stone with this beautiful carving along the edge. with great comfort and beauty. It's like it's on its own little pedestal on your finger. But I love
on the tactile, just the feel of it. It's just so. I mean, this
so
is like
good.
a little belly button kind of.
It is like a little belly button.
Yes,
I'd like
it
to
is.
have a sapphire in my belly button.
So,
and this one.
This is a great ring.
This is just
See,
brand new.
We just finished this, and move the. I think you can see how you're getting that kind of underglow, that kind of rosy
I see
underglow.
it. Oh, yes.
And it's almost like a sunrise. You get this really wonderful glow coming through the stone.
Oh.
And again, this is Montana agate that we cut, and then with the ruby set in the middle.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible.
That's
And then
pretty-
it's set slightly off. Susan, if you put it on your finger, it's just slightly off
right.
center.
We don't do symmetry.
No.
Yeah.
We're not into
Balance,
symmetry.
harmony.
Yes, balanced and yet slightly off balance and kind
Yes.
of.
This is a beautiful Montana agate. Really
That line
interesting
along the edge,
coloration.
yeah.
The
Well,
line
the
along
patterns
edge.
are so cool.
So cool. And then these earrings here are some of my favorite that we have at the gallery with the lapis, the sapphire. I think of it like a cloud, a blue cloud with the drops like rain. I mean, in New Mexico, there's a name for that, and I forget what it is.
Right,
Where
yeah.
the rain is sort of being pulled down from the clouds.
Uh-huh.
I forget what it's called, but
Yeah.
just that, again, that movement is so glorious. You too, this has been a 40-minute presentation of the genius of Jeff and Susan Wise, Susan and Jeff Wise. Oh, well, there's a question. How does the idea for each composition come?
What do you think, honey? I mean, we're just our curiosity is constantly engaged.
Yeah.
Constantly engaged. And so really inspiration
Is everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's really everywhere.
Well, and you live and breathe that. I mean, when I visited your home, every aspect of your home is an art piece. I mean, really every aspect. There is really nothing that is
We are
not
quite
artistic.
fortunate to have
You are.
experienced that
What-
immersion of our creativity.
Yes.
But I would say that the designs just come from being constantly curious.
Yeah.
Curious.
That's really where
the
it comes
word.
from.
I love that word.
And there are classic designs in your repertoire. When you make these bracelets and in these elements where the pieces all come together in that way, but they're all different. They all tell a different story of composition, but it's always a combination of unusual forms in metal and unusual gemstones that come together. But there are constant threads of movement, of joy, and the combination of the gemstones, and that's what and this is an older piece, yes? This brooch. Tell us about this piece.
This is called Urban Sky Map.
And we've actually, we're going to recently, we've just decided that we're going to go ahead and show that at Patina. This is a piece that I've kept for myself. And it has this wonderful clasp, this threaded screw
your
clasp.
clasps. Come on. I mean,
Yeah.
they're really.
This
That's
is
all
a,
threaded, and it feeds
come on,
in.
really. I like that.
So this is white coral here, and the reason we said urban
Thank you.
sky map is because this did remind us of like buildings and sort of.
So if I get
Yeah.
a different profile of it, okay,
Yeah.
different buildings, different
buildings
heights.
and the sky is the
Well-
opal is the inlaid, very intricately inlaid.
Yeah.
It's all mosaic inlaid.
So that's
And so the bamboo coral
Yeah.
was actually, each one of the bamboo corals has a gold pin that goes up inside it. So the way this was made, that I first cut each of the individual bamboo corals and then glued each one of them onto its post, and then fitted this mosaic inlay of lapis lazuli around it.
Oh, you mean opal?
Excuse me, of opal, yeah.
Yes, but I know you love lapis, and
I love- yes,
and
indeed.
you have used a lot
Yeah.
of lapis, but this
so
one,
this is like our love our love of urban spaces, I would say.
yes,
Beautiful buildings
beautiful buildings. And-
popping up through the sky.
yeah, and then this long piece here.
Yeah.
What is that?
That's gold, individual fins of gold,
Uh-huh.
each soldered together. It's a beautiful piece, very kind of unsymmetry, which gives it's that unsymmetry and that kind of just stepping off of balance that gives it that sense of motion. It has this really kind of kinetic energy to it.
well, you two have a kinetic energy to you. And
nice segue.
Oh, thank you. And I love working with you. And thank you everyone who's joined our video. If you weren't able to catch us live today or missed, the beginning, we'll be making this available. It's on Instagram, obviously. And also it'll be on Facebook, it'll be on our website, it'll be on YouTube. So, it'll be everywhere. So you'll be able to enjoy this 45 minute video clip to really see the world of Jeff and Susan Wise live from their studio here in beautiful Colorado. And I thank you both so much. Before I log out, I'm just going to turn the camera on myself just for a second, because we've been featuring this necklace that I'm wearing, and I just wanted people to see it, the joy. I mean, again, this exuberance and this kineticism in this blue rhapsody necklace that has a combination of chalcedony and labradorite, and you've seen how they place those gemstones on top of other stones, and again the movement and the color. What a great piece. And brand new earrings with chalcedony and tanzanite. So again, the movement, you all are just a great joy to be with, and now we can, all three of us here. Thank you all.
Babe. All right.
Thank you all for joining our program
Patina.
this morning.
Thank you,
Thank you, Susan and Jeff. And thank you to everyone who viewed. And y'all have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and take care. Bye.
Bye.